Learning and development for knowledge management, a separate 9th unit will be speaking on knowledge management, so I will speak of it later. Strategic decision making, we have spoken about strategic decision last lecture, will be 2nd chapter. Goodwill also I have spoken, that it's a part of your balance sheet. Loyalty and dedication I have spoken in the earlier slide. Different methods of learning and development will come in next slide. Skills development, Peter's principle. Peter's principle is all management people in the organizational era, they know the principle called as Peter's principle, which is a very sarcastic principle, which says that you can reach to the level of your incompetency. I repeat, you can reach to the level of your incompetency. Means incompetency means where you are not compatible, you are not compatible. Means you are at level, giving you an example of that manager level M1, M2, M3, M4. So if you want to go from M6 to M7, there are certain expectations from that organization from you. Those expectations may be from the point of view of additional course which you do from outside, or maybe additional skill set which you generate, you develop, you join some course and you develop those kind of abilities or competencies. You are supposed to learn something new, you are supposed to earn and maybe go to some kind of trainings, you are supposed to go and present some kind of patented work, etc., so that you are eligible to go to level 7 from level 6. If you don't do that, you will remain to the level of 6. Because for going to level 7, you require to have some additional thing in you, then only you can go to that level. If you don't have that, you will remain at that level. So you can reach to the level of your incompetency, means you will reach to the level where you are compatible with, competitive, and above that you cannot go because you don't have competencies. And that's what Peter principle says. I am not sure whether this is properly understood or not. But then in short, to go to the next level, you have to develop yourself. You have to get something more, you have to develop your abilities, skills, knowledge, whatever you can call, and then only you can go to the next level. Otherwise, you will remain at that particular level where you are incompetent to go to the next level. So that is what Peter's principle says. Knowledge and performance are correlated, of course. Deserving and act superior, we have spoken about here. Harmony, empathizing, dignity. This is talking about deserving and act superior. The more you go to the higher level, you will always find, and it is said, proven, that the people who go at the top, most of them, not all, but most of them are very humble. The more top you go, the more you become down to earth, what we say. Your legs are always touching to the ground. So then only you can be a deserving superior. If you are too much autocratic or too much eccentric kind of a person, then you are not very fit to sit in that particular position. Positivity in negativity, we always say you have to find out the positivity in the negative. Even if the person is having lot many negative things, we have to find out the positive thing in that person. What good qualities that person has. Knowledge is the supreme power. Again, 9th chapter will speak of it. Unethical practices we spoken in 2nd unit under the heading ethical practices. CSR I have already explained, and this was one of the very famous statements from Bhagavad Gita. And Lord Shri Krishna said that I will take the birth wherever there is something wrong with the religion, there is something wrong on the earth. Bharata here is the name given to Arjuna, but then we can take it as our country. So whenever something negative happens, Glani means feeling drowsy. When you feel drowsy, when you are not interested in what is happening, or maybe you don't want to show your interest. So Glani means that the entire world is sleeping. They are thinking that whatever happens, I want to sleep. Whatever is happening outside my room, I don't care. So when such kind of situation is there in the society, then to uplift the religion, to uplift the people, I take birth. And it has been known that in the earlier birth of Lord Shri Krishna was Ramayana, which has happened in Satya Yuga, and this happened in Treta Yuga, this Bhagavad Gita. So to upliftment of the society, I take birth, which means that whenever there is a requirement of the society, that there should be some people who should come forward. So those are nothing but the gods of today. The people who are spending a lot of money in development of education, then giving education to the slum dwellers, giving education to the children of prostitutes, then giving importance to the women power, giving importance to the poverty and trying to nullify poverty from our country. So all those people who are giving money for all such kind of causes, doing CSR activities, are just like gods to the earth, or just like God to that particular country. JSGD, the related verse is Ye Yatha Mam Prapadyante Tasateva Bhajamya. Means whatever you are good at, you do that. That means job analysis, job description, job specifications. L&D, it was mentioned earlier, L&D as spoken earlier, learning and development. So there are different kind of learning techniques which are used in the organizations. Then there are different departments or different programs which are organized for learning and development. And somewhere it is mentioned, this is not from Bhagavad Gita. These are the different ways by which you can learn. Shravanam is by listening. Don't you think by listening to my session you will learn? Of course, you are attentively listening, then only you will learn. If you are here only for the sake of attendance, then you will not learn. But then looking at the number, I don't think that you are here for the sake of attendance. So you're listening. So by listening also you are able to learn. Shravanam, Kirtanam. Kirtanam is, Kirtan word is very common in Marathi. Probably other language people won't understand. So Kirtanam is a person, a very sage-like person stands and he will be having a musical instrument in his neck, and then he chants God, or he will deliver the speeches like on Bhagavad Gita, Dhaneshwari, and Eknathi Bhagavad, Tukaram, etc. And he will make the common villagers, common people who probably don't understand, who have never gone to the school and colleges and they have never educated, they make them understand what is mentioned in all those spiritual things. So that person is said to be doing a kirtan. And that kirtan is also kind of learning for himself, because it is said that if you want to listen to this sentence very carefully, it's a very thoughtful sentence. If you want to learn, teach. If you want to learn, teach. Why? Because if I am supposed to teach you, I must be able to know it perfectly. Then only I will be able to tell you. Do you agree with this? I'll tell you a simple example, again my personal example. I have done my civil engineering from Government College of Engineering. How many engineers are there in the class? BE. Okay, very good. So do you know there is a subject called as applied mechanics? Yes. How easy was it? The question is wrong, right? Applied mechanics is one subject where there are histories in engineering colleges where people have left doing engineering because of applied mechanics. And there is another paper called as M3. These are the two papers, applied mechanics and M3, where engineers, students have left doing engineering, got frustrated. There are cases, some students have committed suicide because they could not clear the subject, applied mechanics and M3. I would have been one of them, but I was very strong. I didn't commit suicide. I cleared my applied mechanics subject in my 7th attempt. Very proudly I should tell you. And that too, I got 42 marks out of 100 in my 7th attempt. Only 42 marks out of 100. So that way I was a very dull student as an engineering student. But then when it comes to teaching, later on I went to teaching after my career in corporate. I started teaching in SVC Polytechnic, which was the first institution started by Senior Group 20. So they started with the Polytechnic and I started working there as a faculty, teaching engineering students. And the first subject which I taught is applied mechanics. So you must be worried now what must have happened to all those students. But with reference to the statement which I said, if you want to learn, teach. So that is the time where I learned applied mechanics for the first time, very much in detail. Because till that time I was just learning it only for the sake of clearing my subject. And somehow the moment I got my mark sheet 42 out of 100, I celebrated like anything. 7th attempt, 42 out of 100. But when I started teaching, let me again tell you with pride, not a single student in my class failed in applied mechanics. And all of them used to top in board, that was MSBT board. There used to be at least 10 to 15 students who were scoring more than 90 marks out of 100 in applied mechanics. Where I myself have scored 42, because it was only for me, when I was teaching to the students, whatever question asked by the student, I must be able to answer. So I learned that time. So Kirtanam, from that perspective, if you want to learn, you tell to the people, then automatically you will learn. You will learn more. So that is why, if at all amongst yourself, if you are doing something called as a group study, so the person who is teaching you amongst the group, maybe 4 or 5 students coming together, one person is comparatively more intelligent as compared to others, so he will teach you. Why he can teach you? Because he has understood that concept more. But for making you understand, he will study it twice and make it more easy. But with the technology nowadays, you can learn on your own. You can go to Google. At times it happens that we still do not know the answers for your questions. So what do we say? Okay, I'll get back to you. You can come to me tomorrow. I'll give you your answers later. Where we are trying to learn. So Kirtan is one way by which you can learn. Vishnu Smaran is one word. Means you have to keep on chanting the name of Vishnu. Means Lord Vishnu, the topmost God. So by simply chanting the name also you can keep on learning. In short, by mugging up also we have been learning in a school or colleges. Pada Sevanam is actually doing the worship of a god by sitting next to the god's feet. So if you could see some mythological serials on television, you will always see that the disciples are always sitting near to the feet of their god or their idol. So Pada Sevanam is that kind of learning. Archanam means Puja Archana, which we people do at the time of festivals, Diwali, Lakshmi Pujan and all those things. So that time we do Archana, means we try to worship the God, through which also we try to learn how we should be disciplined, what are the standard process to be followed, how we can be involved ourselves in whatever we are doing. But we learn a lot by that. Vandanam means simply doing this, which we keep on doing when we see any temple going on the road, we are driving and we see like this, after the busy. So Vandanam is simply closing your hands in front of one who is your idol. So that also makes you learn, because in your brain, in your mind somewhere, you worship that person, you worship that God, you consider that person, even individual person, as an idol, and you think that whatever that person has done, you don't usually close your hands to with anybody or in front of anybody. You do it only for your idols. So where you try to learn many things from you, and you have got in your mind that I want to become one day somebody like him, your idols. So from that perspective, by Vandanan also you learn things. Dasyam means you really have to become disciple. On day one I have told you the story of Pandit Bhimsen Joshi, that kind of disciple and guru kind of relationship. And I missed to tell you the name of Bhimsen Joshi guru that time. It is Savai Gandharva, and it's a very famous music mahotsav in Pune. So it is started on the name of his guru. So if you become like that, then also you will learn a lot. That example itself is a best example of learning. And I can tell you very proudly, rather I would be calling myself very fortunate that I happened to get similar kind of opportunity in my life. When I did simultaneously while doing my engineering, clearing all the backlog papers one by one, I was doing my diploma in interior, so I completed that. And there was one architect who used to come and teach us. So he saw that, he told me, and he asked me that, can you work for me? I said, fine sir, anyway I am supposed to do a job, so I will work for you. He said, no, but it will be slightly difficult for you. I said, what is the difficulty? He said, you have to come to my home, you have to stay in my home, and then do the work for me. And since anyways I was staying in a hostel that time in Pune, so I was very happy. So I am getting to stay for free, right? So that person appointed me for his job. I was with that person for 3 years, staying in his home. So it was as if my home. He has a family of he himself and his wife, one kid and his mother. So 4 family, and I was the 5th person. And I was very much working like this kind of philosophy. So I used to work for that person. For 3 years I used to do all the housework. I used to wash my dishes, I used to prepare tea sometimes, I used to prepare some kind of food items also. Then I used to do whatever work was supposed to be done, told by him. Even sweep my own floor, clean my used to wash my clothes. Even today I wash my clothes on my own, because I am used to. For 13 years I was in hostel, so I used to wash my own clothes. So my wife is very happy. I don't ask her to wash my clothes, so I wash on my own. So it is the way I learned. What I learned is that you should not be dependent on somebody else. So you should be able to do all the things on your own. Self-reliance it is called as, self-dependency. So that you can learn only in this kind of thing, provided that you have got utmost dedication and devotion towards your guru. Only that then it can happen. If you think negatively about your guru, then what will happen you can see in some of the mythological series. And Sakhyam means making your guru as your friend. The same thing happened in my case again. It so happened that my guru, with whom I worked staying in his house for 3 years, became my friend, and now he is one of my best friends today. So Sakhyam is making your God as your Sakha, as your friend. The best example is There in Mahabharata itself, Lord Shri Krishna, who was his closest friend? Sudama. Sudama was his disciple, but he considered Krishna as his friend. And Atma Nivedanam. The actual meaning of Atma Nivedanam is that you are supposed to forget yourself and you be one with the God. It means God will give you the instructions and you simply have to follow it without asking any questions. Why? Why so? That is the actual meaning of Atma Nivedanam. But there is another, if you see the literal meaning of Atma Nivedanam is Atma means self, Nivedanam means to tell. So telling yourself. So tell yourself, follow the instructions. There is a very strong technique used in psychology called as self-hypnosis. That means you try to control yourself. Try to give instructions to yourself that you should do this, you shouldn't do this. I am not doing it. I should not do this. So you give instructions to yourself and you follow yourself. As if those instructions are coming from your God, coming from your idol, coming from your guru. And in all these cases, these are said to be the 9 ways by which you can learn. This is not in Bhagavad Gita, as I said, but then that's how learning and development can happen. I was talking about at one place. Yes, putting others before oneself means giving importance to somebody else than yourself, because nowadays importance is given based on the positions and based on the castes also. There is one more word here I am trying to find out. Yes, work decides the culture and not the birth. Work decides the culture and not the birth. In which religion, in which caste you are born, that is not important, but what kind of work you do, that is important. And based on that, this is very clearly mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Chaturvarne maya srishtam gunadharma vibhagasham. Means I have divided this entire society, whatever society at that time, only into 4 categories. Those categories are not related to the birth: Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. This I have mentioned somewhere in the past with some different reference. Brahman is all those people who should do all worshipping or some pious or pure kind of things at that time in the society. Kshatriya, I had mentioned the word in chapter number 1. Kshatriyas were supposed to do is to protect the kingdom and protect the kingdom for all enemies and probably fighters with the kingdom. So Kshatriyas should do all those kind of jobs. Vaishya is all the people like you and me, businessmen who have done MBAs at that time, whatever degree they have. So Vaishya is all those people who do the business, and Shudra is all those menial stuff, cleaning and all lower kind of work. So irrespective of in which family you are born with, irrespective of in which caste, in which religion you are born with, it is not the caste, it is not the family, it is not your birth, but what work you do accordingly will be classified. So there were only 4 classifications, not based on a caste, but nowadays, you know how many castes, SC, ST, NT, then BJNT and all those things which we have mentioned earlier. So nowadays it is based on a birth. In which caste or in which particular religion you are born, you are labeled like that. Again, I remember Amir Khan and PK. Kappa kidhar hai? So there is no any such kind of caste or religion Kappa anywhere. It is we human beings who have made all these classifications. Going to the cartoons today. This may be a smallest chapter today. So here we are talking about identity. So what do you want to learn? Accordingly, which hat you want to wear will decide what learning or what kind of coaching, what kind of training and development activities you require. If you want to become a coach, if you want to become a facilitator, if you want to become a negotiator or an evaluator or a mediator, all these things you cannot do unless and until you learn the specific things related to each and every one of this. If you want to be a facilitator, a coach may not be able to do that, or otherwise, let's say, evaluator, the coach may not be able to do it. Coach is the person who should understand everything about everything. He may be able to do it, but then he may not be able to do it, to do all the things. Evaluator or facilitator, evaluator, these are more a kind of defined jobs or a closed-ended jobs where you do the work, you give certain facilities and work is done. Whereas coach, then mediator, negotiator, these people require some more kind of people skills, interpersonal skills, negotiation skills, then communication skills will be required by these people: coach, negotiator, mediator. You might have seen the different movies on sports. You must have seen the movie Adhyay India. Then very recently released in 2021 released movie on Kapil Dev 83. So there you see the role of a coach. So coach plays the role of making the entire team together. If there are any kind of misbehavior happening amongst the coach, Adhyay was the only movie I liked about Shah Rukh Khan. Otherwise I don't like him. Sorry for the fans of Shah Rukh Khan. But the role of a coach is the most difficult role. Because he must be able to understand everything, he must be able to understand the techniques also. So if required, he should be able to teach the players how to play a particular shot, how to be in a particular situation. And again, he should be an expert in behavioral science. And most of the coaches have been proven to make the match win. Aakhri 70 minutes. It is only because of that coach that motivated the entire team. Where we are talking about what you know and what you don't know. You must know what you don't know. So the person who is sitting at a CEO position, he is having that thinking, do they know that I don't know this? And being the CEO doesn't mean that you know everything. He is also the one who has to keep a pace with the speed of the society. This is the Twitter principle. Read it again. The employees will remain at the level at which they are incompetent. So for next level to go, you need to improvise your competencies, otherwise you will remain at that level. That is the principle of level of incompetence. It is very interesting about talking about JA, JS and J. Just how carefully is management screening their ergonomics consultant? See whether you understand this or I explain. Ergonomics is the person who designs the furniture as per the comfort of the human beings. Now the kind of chairs which you are sitting, I have sat on this chair, those are more comfortable. You cannot use the same chairs in front of the computers. You cannot have the same chairs in theatres, isn't it? You cannot use the same chairs probably in your living room. At every different positions and different body postures will require different kind of chairs to be designed. You will get the chair, this kind of chair might be available in Pimpri market if you go, or maybe there is a market in Pune, Bajirao Road furniture. There are many furniture shops around. So you will get the same chair in 700 rupees. This must be costing somewhere around 4,500 rupees. You will get the similar kind of chair in 40,000, 15,000 rupees. So you will look wise the same, but comfort wise different. So all those designers who design chairs or sitting element or furnitures, those are called as ergonomists. So those will design all the furniture. So this particular picture is talking about the JAJD of an ergonomic consultant who himself should understand what he is supposed to do. So the day might come that people may have to work like this. So still the person is very much comfortable working in the chair. That is the meaning, or that is a hidden joke in it. So if the person is working on this chair and operating a computer, he should be comfortable even in this position. So the chair should be designed in such a way that even if a person works like this, he is still comfortable. So ergonomical chairs or ergonomical furniture is so much costly that it is costing almost 10 times of a normal average cost furniture. Okay. The name which I can quote is IKEA furniture. You might have heard of IKEA. They have got branches all over the world almost. Their probably last batch has recently come to India. Branch. They have recently started in I have gone to IKEA mall in Japan. That is the biggest mall I have ever come across in my entire life. I couldn't see the other end of the mall. And all the furnitures were there which is hung to the wall. Entire bed, double bed was hung to the wall. And you can literally get anything in the furniture. You name the furniture and it is available. It was literally more than a kilometer length mall inside. It has got 5 floors only for parking. Okay, that is not important, but ergonomics is important. Okay, then those were the cartoons in this.